I'm Allie. Join me in creating this nice, simple wire working earring. If you need any materials, remember you can always check below the video in the description to get links to shop with us online. So to begin this Pearl Marquise, we're going to be using our 28 gauge wire. I have here approximately 16 inches of that 28 gauge wire that I've cut with my wire cutters. I also have handy a needle nose pliers or a flat nose pliers, as well as a round nose plier. That's going to make my loop at the top to connect to my ear wire. Laying out here, I have some 4mm Potomac pearls in the bright white and 2x3mm rondelles in that light Colorado color. It's a very, very simple technique that can be done also with 2 needles if you would want to do that instead of wire. I just want to show an idea of what you use this thinner gauge wire for. So we have our 2 pieces of wire, and I'm doubling it over so that it's looped at the bottom. So both sides here have about 8 inches on them. I'm going to take my first pearl and drop it down to the middle of that wire. So it's right down at the middle. I still have 8 inches on each side. Then I'm going to take a crystal, and this pattern is going to get repeated over and over. And I'm going to take a crystal and put one on one side, one on the other. For those of you that's smart, say, why didn't I just put that on at the same time? Totally true, but when it comes to the next steps, you're going to need to put them on side by side, so it's a good habit. So now that I have the crystals on the side, those are going to work to hide the wire on the side and just shine a little bit extra with that crystal look. The next thing we're going to do is take our wire through 2 pearls. I'm going to take both wires through 2 pearls going in the opposite direction. So I'm going to pick up one of my wires here on the right hand side. I'm going to load on my 2 pearls. You can also do this with bicones, you can do it with rondelles, really any shape will work. They fit in really nicely together. I just love the look of the pearls. Now that those 2 pearls are on the right hand side, I'm going to bend them right over top of that crystal pearl mixture that we did. The wire that's on the left hand side now, because our wire came from the right and went through over to the left, this wire that's on the left is going to come through and go from the left hand side through the pearls. Usually it's easiest if you can get both at once. And it's thin wire, so it's nice and forgiving. You just want to make sure you don't have a kink in that wire, keep it nice and rounded. And you can see I'm taking the wire through the pearls in opposite directions. Give a nice tight pull. This is where that thin wire comes in handy because it'll let you manipulate it. From here, again, we're going into crystals. And now it becomes super repetitive. I'm going to put my crystals on both sides, one on each. And then I always like to put my pearls on the right-hand side or whatever I'm laying over the top. It doesn't matter whether or not you're doing the right or the left. I have my crystal on either side, which is going to run along the sides of my pearls. Taking my right wire, I'm going to put on now 3 pearls because we're increasing the pearl count as we move up to get our nice marquise or diamond shape. You can go up as high as you want to, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is completely up to you. Pearls in the wire sometime are that fun trying to find that hole. I went up to 4 in our example, and that's the number that we're going to go up to as well. So as you get bigger, you're going to notice that sometimes it can get flimsier. So just keep in mind, you don't want to go up to 10 or 12. You might want to increase your wire gauge if you're doing that, or increase your bead size. From here, I put those 3 pearls on the right-hand wire, folded it over towards the left-hand side, and now I'm taking that wire that was on the left, and I'm going to put it through all 3 of those pearls and bring it over to the right-hand side. So they're going back through in opposite directions. When you're doing bead weaving, this is called diagonal stitch that you're doing here. You're going on the sides, you have your 2 beads. It's actually right angle weave. You have your 2 beads on the side, and they're taking through another set. So see how we have 1, 2, 3? We're going to increase now to 4, putting a crystal on either side, getting my 4 pearls on my right, bending them over the top, and taking the left wire through and towards the right side. So your wire is always switching from one side to the other. I'm going to increase to 4, and then we're going to start to decrease down to 3. So as you can see here, I increased to 4 and then started decreasing again. 1 crystal on either side, down to 3, pass the wire through one way, through the wire through the other way. Then down to 2, then down to 1. Again, just decreasing and increasing. If you can count to 4, you can do it. Remember, on the side, before you add that single pearl, you're adding one of your crystal rondelles on both the right and the left. Remember, if you want to go ahead and comment below, give your feedback, if you're switching it up to different beads, which size beads and what shapes you're using in that comment section, so that way it helps out other people and other Potomac beaders that are watching this. So when you get finished, there's a couple different ways to do the top. I'm going to show you the easiest way, in my opinion. You're going to take your wire, one's coming out the right, one's coming out the left, and I'm just pinching it. Again, it's 28 gauge, it's thin. I'm pinching it right on top of that pearl, and then to top it off, I'm going to take one more of my crystal rondelles, and because the wire is thin, I can get 2 strands of wire through that small crystal rondelle. Even if you use 26 gauge or 24 gauge, you can still get it through twice. After having that rondelle at the top, go ahead and grab your round nose pliers. It's thin wire, so I'm not really leaving much space at all. I'm going to hold that crystal, bend that wire back a tiny bit. So usually it's about a 45-degree angle there. Hold the wire between the 2 jaws so I can see one on top of the other, and bend that wire over the top of the round nose pliers. I'm going to switch from that top jaw to the bottom jaw. See, all I did was rotate my hand there, top jaw to bottom jaw. Remember also to check out some other videos on coiling eye pins if you need help with this. Take those 2 pieces of wire then together at the same time, go to the right, and then we're just, because it's thin, I can just hold it in my round nose pliers. We're going to twist around the top of the crystal 2 times. Take your wire cutter, cut off the extra wire, and you'll notice I have here about 6 inches extra on each side. So you can do this with less wire than that original gauge. It's just easy to hold on to. Keep these little pieces and these scraps for future projects. From here, I'm going to grab my needle nose pliers and just pinch down those edges just a tiny little bit. You can see that my ear wire here is front facing and my loop is also front facing. I'm going to take my needle nose pliers, turn that to the side, grab my ear wire, open up my ear wire not by pulling back, but by pushing to the side so I don't lose the shape that's already established. If the ball loop there is too big to fit over, you're just going to take it onto the back of the ear wire, let it fall down, and then simply close it up. You can see that you didn't change that shape of the ear wire by twisting to the side rather than pulling back. And then you finish that Pearl Marquise earring. You can see it looks pretty with the copper if I wanted to use the copper at the top to really pull out that champagne, or even just the silver at the top to keep it nice and bright. These are great bridal earrings as well if you want to do them in different colors for the bride as well as for the wedding party. Good ideas for this season that we're having right now. Thanks so much for watching this video. Remember, if you need any materials, go ahead and check below the video. In the description, you can get links to shop with us online. If you haven't yet already, give us your feedback as well as a little thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss anything from us here at Potomac Beads. Remember also, you can post your own designs and your different versions in our Facebook group, and get ready to watch the next video to continue on becoming an amazing Potomac beader.